Oh, cat rod, christened, and one in the net. It's getting out, getting weighed. Beautiful. Hi, welcome to Back to Fishing. Just wanted to do a quick video, bit of a prep video. It's Friday, so tomorrow I'm going down to Toddington Fisheries to have another bash at catching some catfish and maybe some carp, but the primary goal is catfish. I had a good chat with a friend of mine who's a really experienced angler, and what he recommended is I focus in on just one lake for a season, maybe even 2 seasons. I've been, in the last 2 years since I started fishing again, I've been all over the UK fishing, primarily for carp. I've had a couple of goes at sturgeon fishing and catfish fishing as well, and I'm a big fan of both. What I've decided to do is, because Toddington's quite local, because it's also the place where when I first got back into fishing 2 years ago, it's the first video on the channel, and it's terrible, it's an awful video, but it is what it is. It was the first time I'd gone back. I had old rods, old reels, the lot, but I managed to catch a 30-pound catfish and an 18-pound catfish and a 10-pound carp, and for me, as a let's get back into proper fishing, it was a great session. I've been down a couple of times since in the last 2 years. I blanked one of the times, and then I went down last week and I caught a 22-pound catfish, which I was, it was all right. I was happy with that. It was a 24-hour session, it's not bad. I also got snapped off, obviously barbless hooks and lead safe systems and all that. So hopefully the fish is fine. It'll be fine, but very frustrating. And that's what made me think actually this should be a good campaign lake, because it's got some big fish in there in terms of size, probably only medium size for catfish. They go up to about, I've been told, 55, 60 pounds, and mid-20s carp. But it's quite technical. It's a small lake and it's quite easy to catch in it, but it's a sort of technical-ish lake. It's got lots of islands. It's got overhangs. It's got ledges. It's got overhanging trees. It's got, as I found out, small beds of a couple of beds of razor clams as well. So that's why I want to make it the sort of campaign lake. In terms of the bait I'm going to take down tomorrow, nice and simple. I want to I've got like a heavy carp rod that I want to try and catch carp or catfish on. So with that one, I'm going to use the sticky frozen bait boilies. They're 16mm boilies, and they've been glugging in smoked salmon oil, which you can see just on the right, next to the halibut pellets in the big jar. And then I've got some 21mm halibut pellets, which have been in the cat bites liquid. And then I've got underneath that in the tub a catfish sort of Heinz 57 mix. So there's everything there you can think of really that a catfish might be interested in. So there's sweet corn, there's 2mm carp pellets, there's 6mm halibut pellets, there's 10mm halibut pellets, there's mackerel, like tinned mackerel that I've broken up and flaked into there, and it's all been sort of poured over the smoked salmon oil and the catfish liquid as well. So it's a bit of a mix, and it is pretty stinking. It's pretty potent, but very fishy, very friendly to catfish. Clearly that's not all the bait I'm going to take down in that tub, because they'll hoover that up in about half an hour, but it's a start. I'm just going to go on the bottom, because I've had plenty of success on the bottom there on hair rigs, big hair rigs. I have got a dumbbell rig and I have got a poly rig, so they're there if I want them, if I'm not having any joy, but I'm pretty confident, and from what I've spoken to other anglers down there about, fishing on the bottom does work down there, and from my own limited experience it's worked for me as well. So that's the bait, and I'll move on to show you the sort of hook line set up, and what I'm going to try and do, or what I'm doing to try and give myself a little bit of a better chance of fighting a catfish if it tries to pull me over the razor clams again. Okay, so second part of this little video is just to go through the rig and line setup I'm using. As you can see, it is super simple. So the rod I'm using, which you can't see, it's not in the shot, is the Witchwood agitator, 12 foot cat rod. It's probably a bit overkill, but I do aspire to go to France at some point again. So very keen to have not have to buy another cat rod. So I've gone big early. And on there's a sort of Shimano 10,000 reel with £20 mono. So as line goes for catfish, not massively heavy, but I describe this as a kind of mid-sized catfish setup. I know they go to about £50. £20 mono should manage the job well with a decent reel. As you can see, you've got the you've got the rig tube in there. That is, can't really sort of tell from the shot. I put a 20mm boilie on there to kind of give you an idea of sort of size and scale, but there is about a metre of rig tubing on there. Two reasons for that. One, I mentioned in the previous video about them cats potentially dragging me over razor clams. There's a couple of little beds in the lake. I've never been snapped off in that lake before, so I can only assume that that catfish got lucky. But I thought, well, if there's razor clams down there, that might give the line that little bit more durability. And also, in addition, it protects the fish better. You know, you get £20, £15 line or braid wrapped around a catfish that's fighting you, it's going to, you know, hurt it potentially like a flipping cheese wire. So nice long length of rig tube in there to protect the cat. It's probably double the size I would use for a carp. I normally use about 12 to 16 inches if I'm carp fishing. Leg clip system, so safe leg system. It's only a 2 ounce weight. It's not a big weight. It's not a casting lake. It is, you know, you can pretty much underarm cast to the spots you're gonna fish. So obviously I clip up and cast normally, but you don't need heavy weights, heavy leads. And then a £35 hook length that's about 12 inches long, I'd say, and that's a size 2 catfish hook with a bit of anti-tangle at the top and rig tubing, shrink tubing around the knot, and as you can see, a pretty decent sized hair. And that is to take a pellet, 21mm pellet, plus a pop-up if required, or a couple of these 20mm boilies. So quite large, but not crazy big. Yeah, as cat fishing goes, this is not a big setup. This is what I would call a kind of almost a medium, light medium setup. But yeah, that's the plan. And the carp rod is similar. So it's still got the same sort of length of rig tubing on it, because clearly might catch possibly catch a catfish on it as well. But it's £25 hook length instead of £35 hook length. It's got a size 6 curved shank carp hook on it with a smaller hair. So just the same thing, but just slightly scaled down. And that's the rigs and the rods. Little test the camera on the lake. All set up. And I've had a few liners already, but we'll just have to see how it goes. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's supposed to be chucking it down, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I can't see a thing because I've attached my headlight to the camera stand, but it's not a catfish, but by complete fluke I've managed to catch my PB carp. So I've tarred the massive weighing sling that I've got, which is designed for cats, and that was about 3.5–4 pounds. And I've tarred it again, and it's come up to 20 or 19.96. So this carp's about 16.5 pounds. It's not a bad fish actually. It's quite nice. But yeah, better than nothing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, to be honest. But, here it is. Not a bad effort. Pretty happy with that. but not a cat. But can't complain, right? Needs getting back in. Oh, any other day, any other lake, I'll be absolutely overjoyed with that. And obviously fish care is paramount, as always. So he is a lovely fish, to be fair. He's a bit battle scarred, he's a bit he's been around the block, bless him, clearly. But he is lovely, lovely fish. Rest him here for a bit. And then gently, when he's ready, which he nearly is, let him go. Go on then, mate. Go on then. Lovely stuff, lovely fish. It's 6 AM. Beautiful morning. Fog coming off the lake, it's nice and cold, but it's pretty chilly. And 6 AM and the rod went off. And we've got one in the net. Chuffed to bits. Well, there he or she is. Lovely fish, decent scrap. I'm going to weigh her now. I reckon she might be a PB, I'm not sure. But what a result. Carp and a cat. Great session so far. Whew, so, the last one I caught down here was 22 pounds, but the biggest one I've caught down is 30. I know this is about 4 pounds wet, as in the sling, so oh, 36.58 apparently, so 36 and a half after about 4, so 32 and a half, about 32 and a half pounds. Chuff it up, not bad at all. So just been resting her in here for a bit, and I think she's about ready to go back. She was reasonably well behaved for the photo opportunities, but I think she's keen to head off. Yeah, she's good to go. There she goes. There she goes.